I'd like to start out by saying this is not a paid advertisement. We are in no association with this company. I just chose to do this review. All the opinions are my opinions. They don't reflect on Lights Out Gaming. They are mine, K2J Woos, and here we go. What's up, guys? It's your boy K2J Woo, and I'm bringing you a Scuf controller review. So I got inspired by one of the guys from Lights Out Gaming, E3EJ Villa. He posted a Scuf 4PS review for you guys to check out, and I figured since I had the opportunity, I would go ahead and present to you guys today the Xbox One Scuf controller. This is the controller that I game with. Can be seen right there. It is the Xbox One Scuf. So let's talk about a couple of the features that this controller has that, say, your standard controller wouldn't. The first thing that you may or may not notice about this controller is the color and the two different sticks. The nice thing about Scufs is they allow you to customize your face shields, your different button layouts. They come with about 150 or 200 different designs on their website. The difference in the two sticks right here are the one that I am pointing at here is an actual Xbox One stick. And this stick here is a medium length Scuf stick. And basically, originally on this controller, I had both at medium length Scuf, but I broke my left Scuf stick and I replaced it with a standard Xbox One out of a controller I had. The nice thing about being able to have these is that I do still play with control freaks. However, it makes my hand a lot more comfortable. I find that when my hand is tucked up on this, I tend to hit the select button and occasionally slide up and hit the power button when I'm on intense sessions. So I use a slightly higher stick and it helps me control that a little bit, and it also on my right stick helps make my movements a little more fine-tuned for first-person shooters, so I really enjoy that. Would I recommend going with the Scuf sticks and paying the additional money? It's up to you. I would recommend it. However, like I said, I play with a control freak anyway, so that is the reason that I'd say that it's not necessarily to spend the extra money, but you can if you want. Alright, so the second feature we're going to talk about that Scuf does different than a normal Xbox controller are your triggers. If you notice on this trigger, it'll be kind of hard for you to compare, but from here to there is all my trigger moves. If you have a normal controller at home, you'll notice that it moves far more than this. The way they're able to achieve that is they add a trigger stop right here. Basically, if you don't know, your Xbox controller's trigger is sensitive, so it goes from 0 through 100. What this allows you to do is lock it out. So I think on this controller right now, I have it locked out between 40 and 60%. And for first-person shooters and Smite games I play, that's the firing range for most of my guns. Now, disadvantages. You do have to loosen this to drive vehicles. In Halo, I have to back it off just a tad bit or my gun will auto shoot right off the rip until I bump the trigger to stop it for the first time because I have it set up that way. So, not an issue for me because I have it set to play the games that I play the majority. But that's something to take into consideration. If you need 100% trigger pull, you are not going to get it on this controller unless you remove the trigger stops. These are fully adjustable by a set screw right there, and by moving that in or out, it'll give you more or less pull on your trigger. Yeah, so basically what that allows, you know, is in a first-person shooter is basically to know that every time you tap this trigger, the gun is immediately going to go off the second pressure is applied and is going to stop. Guns don't need the full 100%, so if your gun doesn't activate till 40% trigger pull, there's no sense in having to actually pull through 40% of that pull in order to get your gun to fire, and that's what makes these so good and what makes the triggers so fast on this controller. Alright guys, so for the third thing that makes this controller stand out, makes it different, and probably the most important feature on this entire controller are the paddles on the back. Now, you may be asking, what are the paddles on the back? Well, what this company Scuf decided to do was make a controller that allowed you to use more than just your thumbs to play video games. Very traditionally in video games, you hold the controller like this, you move around. If you want to jump while you're shooting, you would come off, hit the jump button, and then go back to aiming. Somebody eventually developed what was known as the claw, which is a way of holding the controller very similar to this. And this allows you to be able to push your buttons with this finger. The problem is some people were having problems if your hand's not big enough, if this isn't comfortable to you, not enough practice. You still only have one finger pushing 4 buttons. Becomes the slowdown. So what Scuf decided to do is they come up with these paddles and they sync them so that, very similar to A and B on the front face, this becomes your A back here and your B back here, meaning that I can now jump shot and drop shot without taking my fingers off the aiming button, giving me that little bit of advantage in those surprise jump fights around, or gunfights around corners when you're trying to jump shot or drop shot around the corner. I play tactical, so I have my lay down on my right thumbstick, and then I actually use my right stick to melee. So that's my melee stick on this controller. These are programmable. Scuf does allow you to program what you want your paddles to be. And they also have, obviously, there are spots for more paddles here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, yeah guys, so like I said, this is my two paddle Fwiz Scuf. They used to say Scuf right here, but that has been worn out. That's where my fingers fit when using the controller. But like I said, this is the 2 paddle option, and then this is the 4 paddle option. This gives you A, B, X, and Y all on the back. This means you literally would never have to take your thumbs off the stick except for to check the score of the game, the stats. So yeah, now people ask, what do you prefer, Bob? Do you prefer 2 or do you prefer 4? Well, if you play primarily first-person shooters, similar to me, I prefer 2. I went with this controller right here. This is my gaming rig. This is the Fwiz Scuf One. It's absolutely a gorgeous controller. The color's amazing. I really like it. We got the little Fwiz dude up there. Yeah. However, this controller is amazing for playing Smite. This one is currently broken, and I'm getting ready to send it out to have it fixed. But yeah, these controllers are amazing. Now, when I say broken, this is on my own. I've had this controller for a couple of years. The board just went bad on it. Controllers do break. You have to understand that. We pay a lot of money for these. Scuf's warranty process can be, their customer service can be a little hit or miss. However, they have taken care of me on some other things and some things not, so I can't really complain. Yeah, so let's talk about a couple other quick differences on these controllers. If you notice, my D-pad on this controller is a standard D-pad. The D-pad on my Black Stealth is a round disc. This is the Scuf disc. I enjoy it. I think it'd be really good in some good fighting games. I haven't had the opportunity. I don't play too many fighting games, or haven't picked any up for the Xbox One recently, so I haven't checked it out yet. It does look fun. It is removable, so you can get the standard look. Another option you'll notice here is I have the Scuf grip, which you can see on both these controllers. But however, if you look to the inside of the controller, I do not have Pro Grip on my Fwiz controller. I chose not to go that route. I actually like, though, the Pro Grip, and I would probably recommend getting it. Yeah, it costs a fair bit more. Every upgrade costs you a little more, but it's definitely enjoyable. It keeps my controller pretty firmly in my hand. If you notice too, they added these bumps, ridges. You won't find that on the initial panels, so it gives a little more contour to the hand. Yeah, so one of the other things I'll point out real quick is in my Fwiz controller, this is the box that it came in. If you see right there, it does say no rumbles. I basically had the rumbles removed in this controller. It makes it a fair bit lighter, and it is actually really noticeable. I didn't think it was gonna be. I hear all the pros do it. I was like, whatever, a couple ounces, right? But it definitely makes long sessions more enjoyable with this controller. So that's an option. Rumbles in, rumbles out. Alright guys, so we've gone over how you can customize your controller, the different heights of thumbsticks, the different, obviously you can see the different colors. This is the matte stealth, this being the Fwiz controller. Obviously they each have different lights in them and different covers right here. Both of them do say Scuf One, although I don't know if you'll be able to really read it too well on the stealth. Like I said, the major difference in these controllers are the 4 and the 2 paddles. It would be really up to you on which way you wanted to go. I recommend, if you don't want to spend a ton of money, you can get a very nice 2-paddle controller looking pretty stock with some trigger stops and A and B on there for a decent price. There are some competitors out there. You heard Justin, E3 J Villa mention a couple. I'll mention them. Battle Beaver Customs. We'll have a review up for them soon on this channel. Microsoft has their own controller, the Elite. Again, like Justin said, all the reviews and everything I've read is that their paddle system is too sensitive. There's also the Shack controllers and Cinch, 2 other smaller companies that are doing very similar things but with buttons, not paddles. So yeah, so we should talk about if one of these is for you or not. Yeah guys, so people always ask me, yo K2J Woo, should I get a Scuf? Here's what I'm going to tell you, man. If you want to buy a Scuf to make you a better gamer, you probably shouldn't buy one. If you're a decent gamer and you want to raise your gaming, then definitely get one. These controllers won't make you a great player, but they'll make a great player even better. Milliseconds, guys, that's what we're talking about. It's the reason we buy these nice monitors. It's the reason we get the corded headsets. It's the reason we play with a Scuf controller. The milliseconds you can cut off your game add up, and that's what these controllers are for. So these are tournament legal 100%. They range somewhere in the price range of about $110 to upwards of $200 and some dollars, depending on your configuration. But yeah, guys, if you enjoy playing first-person shooters, I would fully recommend one, right? Like, these are the ultimate. If Halo, Gears of War, Call of Duty, I use one for Smite. I love playing Smite, man. That's why I'm going to get this one all dialed back in, so I can have the 4-button paddle for Smite. You can get every option. They let you change the colors. They let you pick. They've got a couple hundred different designs. The pro teams all have their own. If you look around on YouTube, you can find a 5% discount off from one of the pros. Yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions on it, let me know. I fully recommend it. I know they're kind of expensive, but again, like I said, these paddles right here on the back of this controller make it worth it. The fact that I never have to take my hands off when aiming is amazing. Like, you win so many more gunfights being able to use that. Alright guys, well, I appreciate you taking the time and stopping by the channel today. Hope we gave you a little bit of information about Scuf controllers and why I have one. Like I said, I recommend these controllers to anybody that's looking to elevate their game. This will give you an opportunity to let you get better. Again, guys, I'm K2J Woo. I represent Lights Out Gaming. And have a good night.